Also happening right now, former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters is appealing her conviction to the State Court of Appeals.
Peters is serving a 9-year prison sentence after she was convicted on state charges of tampering with voting machines in the 2020 election. Denver 7's Maggie Bryan is at the courthouse tonight.
And Maggie, this local case has taken center stage in the national spotlight.
Yeah, good evening. Part of that is because of the attention President Donald Trump has given this case. Now, earlier today inside this courtroom, we heard several different arguments from Tina Peters' defense attorneys about why they believe the court got her case wrong. Defense attorneys say Peters should have federal immunity because she was trying to stop fraud in a federal election. Other arguments from the defense were based on claims of inaccurate jury instructions and a blocked defense strategy by the judge. Now, state prosecutors fought back on all of those arguments, including the push for federal immunity, saying Peters was not a federal official. But one of the more important parts of the hearing revolved around the length of Tina Peters' sentence. Her attorneys say her 9-year sentence is too long. She's 70 years old, they say, and has never gotten a traffic ticket. The Court of Appeals judges also brought up concerns about her sentence, too. They questioned whether the judge in Peters' case sentenced her based on behavior not relevant to her case. Remember, Peters was not convicted for her beliefs about fraud in the 2020 election, but instead convicted of deceiving a public official to give someone access to county voting machines. During the hearing, the Court of Appeals judges said Peters should not receive a longer sentence just because a judge may disagree with her claims about the election. And we spoke with some of Peters' supporters who were outside the courtroom today, and we also spoke with Colorado Secretary of State Jena Griswold, who has been calling on the governor to not pardon Tina Peters or commute her sentence.
Peters has never said sorry or apologized for her actions. She has never taken accountability. And she has been used as some right-wing hero when she's not a hero. She's a felon. She broke our laws. She broke into our election equipment.
The truth is she did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. And she shouldn't be in prison at all. That whole thing is just horrible injustice.
And I also spoke with Denver civil rights attorney David Lane earlier today about this case. He says 90% of criminal defendants do not win their appeals. He says Peters' best shot is having the governor possibly commute her sentence. And I did also speak with one of Peters' defense attorneys just moments ago. I asked him what he thought about the hearing inside today. He says he was impressed by the 3-judge panel and believes that they're asking the right questions. We'll get a written ruling in about few weeks here. Live in Denver, I'm Maggie Bryan, Denver 7.
It'll be a long few weeks for people keeping a close eye on this case. Thank you, Maggie. Continued pressure and discourse at the federal level may not be helping her case. This is an angle of her story I've been following for months, with prominent Peters allies like Joe Altman calling for Democratic state leaders to be arrested and hung for their role in this case. Denver 7 political analyst Alton Dillard shared his thoughts on this with me.
I have heard from community members and even people on the right or in the middle saying the rhetoric from Tina Peters supporters also isn't helpful.
Just like with the Second Amendment, I think the founding fathers never envisioned AK-47s. With the First Amendment, I'm not sure they ever envisioned the kind of speech where you advocate for the hanging of people who you may not agree with. So yes, in the court of public opinion, none of that rhetoric is helping. Colorado does have good time built into its statutes. So regardless of whether the governor takes any kind of immediate action, she's probably only looking at another couple of years on the high side with good behavior. I will admit to, as someone who worked in elections administration and seen what this false narrative of widespread election fraud and election rigging has done to my former colleagues and friends I know who work in the business, and people having to go into hiding, people being doxxed.
Dillard also says many county clerks on both sides of the aisle think Tina Peters should serve her sentence.